Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Preparing for this podcast really made me want to have some chocolate. But not just any chocolate. There's so many different kinds of chocolates, though, right? We have a milk chocolate, of course, very common. We think of Cadbury and Hershey's and those things, a lot of milk chocolate usually. Dark chocolate, that's what I'm talking about today. And in dark chocolate, we have semi sweet and bittersweet. And we also have white chocolate, ruby chocolate. That does sound good though, right? Compound chocolate. That's interesting. It's from vegetable fat, using tropical fats or hydrogenated fats as a replacement for cocoa butter. Modeling chocolate. That's the ones you see these beautiful videos of them putting the chocolate on the tables, and then they roll it and make roses, and they put things on cakes and stuff. Yeah, it doesn't taste as good as the other ones, but it's really nice to form and holds the shape really well. Cocoa powder, of course, we know from making hot chocolate. You can use it to bake, of course, as well. But not all chocolates are equal, unfortunately. And probably the one that the least amount of people like is the healthiest, as is the case in most things. Dark chocolate. But why? Is it worth it? Is there that much of a difference with dark chocolate from the other kinds of chocolate? Well, a cool thing is that even though it is chocolate, it is pretty good, especially once you get used to the taste. It is actually very healthy. What does it have? Well, in 100-gram bar of to be dark chocolate, it needs to be a high percentage of cocoa, right? So we have 70 to 85%. You have 67% of your daily intake of iron, 58% of your daily intake of magnesium, 89% of copper, and 98% of the daily intake of manganese. In just one bar, and who eats just one bar, am I right? So it's really good. Also, it's dark chocolate is a good source of potassium, phosphorus, zinc, and selenium. So lots of good things. But there is one thing I gotta say right off the bat is the calories. Unfortunately, in that same bar of chocolate, just 100 grams, we got about 600 calories. So if you're on like a $2,000 calorie daily limit, then that's a big amount. But it's good though, right? And of course, if you have less than a whole bar, that's even more. So yes, dark chocolate is good, but don't buy a whole bucket and eat it in one setting because that's a lot of calories, which might not be what you're going for, most of us at least. But what else does it have though? So it has those different minerals, which is great, but also antioxidants. This is an interesting. Antioxidants, we hear about free radicals, which sounds like a radical, a crazy thing to me. It used to. But it's something that's not good for us because it's connected to so many diseases that it's almost sound like a conspiracy theorist trying to explain how it's connected to different diseases. So I'm not going to go into that. I'm not a doctor or a nurse. So, but what they have done, the people who are doctors and nurses and scientists, they have measured these things. They have measured the ORAC levels of dark chocolate. ORAC, what is that? Oxygen radical absorbance capacity. So you can imagine free radicals bad, oxygen radical absorbance, that would be good, going against free radicals. Now, how do they do this? It's very hard. I mean, our bodies are super complex, really hard. Unfortunately, it seems that they don't have a way to test for the antioxidant methods and what's actually happening in our bodies. They don't know that yet, but they can do it in test tubes. We're going to have to live with that so far. It's got to be close to the truth at least, right? Chocolate rates the highest in antioxidants. What are some other like super antioxidant foods? We have blueberries and acai berries. Chocolate's even more than that, even more free radicals. Really cool though. So these raw, unprocessed cocoa beans are among the highest ones. I should say a little note that one study showed, it's so many different studies. One study showed that it was higher than blueberries and acai. But since they're only testing in test tubes, then your results may vary, definitely. But definitely a good thing, whether it's the most or a lot, definitely good to get rid of as many free radicals as possible because It's connected to many things, including one thing here, another thing that chocolate can help: heart disease. Heart disease, one of the main factors would be the bad cholesterol, the LDL, and especially the lining of the arteries. But check out what these studies have found: the effects of chocolate on arteries. One study done by a group of scientists in elderly men. It says cocoa reduced the risk of death by heart disease by 50% over a 15-year period. Oh, interesting. Another study showed that eating chocolate twice or more times a week reduced calcified plaque in the arteries by 32%. Calcified plaque. So you think of arteries, they need to be able to open and close depending on how much oxygen and blood should be circulating through the area. But if it's calcified, then it's stuck, and usually not in the ideal position, obviously. So that's going to cause lots of problems. But chocolate twice a week, dark chocolate, obviously, it lowered this by 32%. Another study showed that eating chocolate 5 times a week lowered the risk of heart disease by 52%. So one, by 50%, 52%. Does this then also include other healthy habits? No doubt. But there's no doubt that there is a connection, there's some connection with dark chocolate and our heart health, the cholesterol, and free radicals. But there's more. But wait, there's more. There's flavonols, bioactive flavonols in chocolate also that can be good for our skin. They've been known to reduce skin sensitivities by the bad rays from the sun. Are there good ones? I'm not sure. UVB rays, the bad ones. It also helps increase blood flow to skin and improve skin density and hydration. One study showed that after eating chocolate for 12 weeks, the skin's ability to absorb UVB rays doubled. Interesting. Good stuff. This chocolate is. So, looking at everything, then the evidence that these studies have shown, you can see the links to the studies in our blog post on our website, aproductofsociety.org. Definitely, chocolate has a lot of health benefits, no doubt. But be careful with what's with the chocolate. If you have milk chocolate, it's going to be more milk and sugar than chocolate, which is going to defeat the entire purpose of the whole benefits of chocolate, unfortunately. And even many of the dark chocolates, they also have a lot of sugar involved as well. So you gotta be ready, and you gotta learn to love the taste, the bitter taste of chocolate. And you can't eat a whole bunch of it. First of all, it's a lot of calories, so that's not going to be a good thing. But also, you don't need that much because it's so healthy. But you don't, you get used to just kind of nibbling on it. And this is coming from somebody, I used to buy big, huge bags of M&Ms and just devour them. And now I'm content. I have a couple squares at a time, a couple squares in an evening of the dark chocolate, and a nibble here and there, and I'm good. I'm happy. And it's good for my health, too. You can't beat that, right? Very nice. Well, thank you for listening. It was great to have everybody here. And let's see what our next podcast is going to be about. We'll be back. Stay tuned for the next one. Same place, same channel, with a product of society.org.